Good morning, good morning. What's up? It is your girl, Pastor Courage Molina of Bold Faith Community Church. Welcome to Mornings in the Word. Today is day 158, and I will be reading Proverbs 13 through 15. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Bold Faith Community Church is a place where women are falling in love with being in the Word, which means we got to get in the Word, right? And Mornings in the Word is just an opportunity for us to read through the Bible, and we're doing that through the Chronological Bible reading plan. So if you're about growing in your faith with an amazing community of women, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are one of our regulars, if you call Bold Faith Community Church home, be sure to say hello in the chat and be sure to like this video. All right, Proverbs 13 from the New Living Translation. A wise child accepts a parent's discipline. A mocker refuses to listen to correction. Wise words will win you a good meal, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Opening your mouth can ruin everything. Lazy people want much but get little, but those who work hard will prosper. Thank God, because I'm a hard worker, okay? Verse 5, the godly hates lies, the wicked cause shame and disgrace. Godliness guards the path of the blameless, but the evil are misled by sin. Some who are poor pretend to be rich, others who are rich pretend to be poor. The rich can pay a ransom for their lives, but the poor won't even get threatened. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. Pride leads to conflict. Those who take advice are wise. Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. People who despise advice are asking for trouble. Those who respect a command will succeed. The instruction of the wise is like a life-giving fountain. Those who accept it avoid the snares of death. A person with good sense is respected. A treacherous person is headed for destruction. Wise people think before they act. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. An unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. If you ignore criticism, you will end in poverty and disgrace. If you accept correction, you will be honored. It is pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from evil to attain them. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. If that's not talking about community, I don't know what is. Verse 21, trouble chases sinners, while blessings reward the righteous. Good people leave an inheritance to their grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth passes to the godly. A poor person's farm may produce much food, but injustice sweeps it all away. Those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children. Those who love their children care enough to discipline them. The godly eat to their heart's content, but the belly of the wicked goes hungry. Chapter 14. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. Those who follow the right path fear the Lord. Those who take the wrong path despise him. A fool's proud talk becomes a rod that beats him, but the words of the wise keep them safe. Without an oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. Listen, there is so much wisdom with every verse that I read, and this is Bible reading. It's not Bible study, and I couldn't, in the time that we have, I wouldn't even be able to break down all of the nuggets and just the absolute insight that Solomon is giving us in the book of Proverbs. I strongly encourage you to one, read the book of Proverbs like every month. That's something you could just read one chapter for that day. So if the day is the 10th, then you would read Proverbs chapter 10, right? And you would do that every month so that this wisdom gets into you. Understanding though that this is observational wisdom, meaning you can see this in the world. Like you can see that and you can see that a wise woman builds her home. And when you see a woman tearing down her home with her own hands, you know that she's foolish. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see this. Just even verse 4, without oxen, a stable stays clean. Can we just talk about that for a second? So it's like there are some blessings that you have that cause you some trouble, right? So an oxen is a blessing because the ox is used and needed for a harvest. If I have a large harvest and I don't have an ox, then I'm not able to, get my harvest, which is what you've been working for all of this time and waiting for and praying for. And so, but the problem though is that when you have ox, you can't keep your stables clean. But without the ox, you wouldn't have the dirt or the blessing from the harvest. I ain't got time to really develop that. But you understand what I'm saying? It's just like us. Yes, your house would be cleaner if you didn't have kids that was tearing it up. But those kids bring you joy. So if you want a quiet house, then you got to get rid of them kids. But then you're going to lose out on all the joy that having children bring you. Do you see what I'm saying? First of all, it's great wisdom, but it's also a great proverb in my mind for like gratefulness, like being grateful for the mess that you have, because that mess means that you've got something. That worry that you have, it means you love somebody that you worried, that you would be worried about. Verse 5. And an honest witness does not lie. A false witness breathes lies. A mocker seeks wisdom and never finds it, but knowledge comes easily to those with understanding. Stay away from fools, for you won't find knowledge on their lips. The prudent understand where they are going, but fools deceive themselves. Fools make fun of guilt, but the godly acknowledge it and seek reconciliation. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can fully share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the godly will flourish. There is a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. Laughter can conceal a heavy heart, but when the laughter ends, the grief remains. Backsliders get what they deserve. Good people receive their reward. Only simpletons believe everything they're told. The prudent carefully consider their steps. The wise are cautious and avoid danger. Fools plunge ahead with reckless confidence. Short-tempered people do foolish things, and schemers are hated. Simpletons are clothed with foolishness, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evil people will bow before good people. The wicked will bow at the gates of the godly. The poor are despised even by their neighbors, while the rich have many friends. It is a sin to belittle one's neighbor. Blessed are those who help the poor. If you plan to do evil, you will be lost. If you plan to do good, you will receive unfailing love and faithfulness. Work brings profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. Wealth is a crown for the wise. The effort of fools yields only foolishness. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is a traitor. Those who fear the Lord are secure. He will be a refuge for their children. Fear of the Lord is a life-giving fountain. It offers escape from the snares of death. A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. You in charge, but you ain't in charge of nobody. People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. Those who oppress the poor insult their maker, but helping the poor honors him. The wicked are crushed by disaster, but the godly have a refuge when they die. Wisdom is enshrined in an understanding heart. Wisdom is not found among fools. Godliness makes a nation great, but sin is a disgrace to any people. A king rejoices in wise servants, but is angry with those who disgrace him. Chapter 15. A gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. I need to get that because I don't always have a gentle answer. Sometimes my answer is harsh. I'm annoyed. I'm agitated. I'm frustrated. I'm hurt. I'm embarrassed. I'm feeling down or something. And so sometimes my answer is not gentle. Sometimes I just don't have a gentle answer. This one, chapter 15, verse 1, I need to get that down in my soul. A gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words makes tempers flare. And it's so true. When you snap at a person, their temper goes up also, right? Verse 2, the tongue of the wise makes knowledge appealing, but the mouth of a fool belches out foolishness. The Lord is watching everywhere, keeping his eye on both the evil and the good. Gentle words are a tree of life. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. Only a fool despises a parent's discipline. Whoever learns from correction is wise. There is treasure in the house of the godly, but the earnings of the wicked bring trouble. The lips of the wise give good advice. The heart of a fool has none to give. The Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but he delights in the prayers of the upright. The Lord detests the way of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue godliness. Whoever abandons the right path will be severely disciplined. Whoever hates correction will die. Boy, this is talking a lot about taking correction. Verse 11, even death and destruction hold no secrets from the Lord. How much more does he know the human heart? Mockers hate to be corrected, so they stay away from the wise. Maybe that's why people don't like you, because they're mockers and they don't like to be corrected. And you are just full of wisdom and you just cannot keep your wisdom to yourself. So people are agitated around you. Maybe it's not that you don't have wisdom, but the word of God says mockers hate to be corrected, so they stay away from the wise. Verse 13, a glad heart makes a happy face. A broken heart crushes the spirit. A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. For the despondent, every day brings trouble. For the happy heart, life is a continual feast. Better to have a little with a fear for the Lord than to have great treasure in inner turmoil. A bowl of vegetables with someone you love is better than steak with someone you hate. A hot-tempered person starts fights. A cool-tempered person stops them. And I always felt like, I might not start a fight, but I'm going to get into one if you want one, right? I felt like that. I might not start it. But this right here saying a hot-tempered person starts a fight, and the opposite of a hot-tempered person, a cool-tempered person, stops them. Are you putting in, maybe you don't think you're hot-headed because you're not starting them, but you might not be cool-headed because you're not stopping them. 19, a lazy person's way is blocked by briars, but the path of the upright is an open highway. Sensible children bring joy to their father. Foolish children despise their mother. Foolishness brings joy to those with no sense. A sensible person stays on the right path. Plans go wrong for lack of advice. Many advisors bring success. Everyone enjoys a fitting reply. It is wonderful to say the right thing at the right time. The path of life leads upward for the wise. They leave the grave behind. The Lord tears down the house of the proud, but he protects the property of widows. The Lord detests evil plans, but he delights in pure words. Greed brings grief to the whole family, but those who hate bribes will live. The heart of the godly thinks carefully before speaking. The mouth of the wicked overflows with evil words. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayers of the righteous. A cheerful look brings joy to the heart. Good news makes for good health. If you listen to constructive criticism, you will be at home among the wise. If you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. But if you listen to correction, you grow in understanding. Correction can be so uncomfortable, though, right? Last verse, fear of the Lord teaches wisdom, humility precedes honor. I pray that this has blessed you today. This is a great way for you to become more familiar with the Word of God and to develop the habit of reading the Bible. It is difficult to interpret and get a revelation and study when we're not familiar. Even if you're going to church and you're listening to these great sermons and the pastor is referencing these things, and it's like you never heard of it on your own. I also don't want to be the type of daughter that gets to heaven never having devoted any real time to getting in the word that he left for me. You know what I mean? All right. I pray this blessed you. And we are here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. EST, mornings in the Word. And then Saturday morning at 8 a.m. EST, we are live streaming for church. All right. I love y'all. And I hope to see y'all in the chat. As always, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see y'all next time. Later.